Grace. What is it?
Reverend Karen.
Reverend Karen. Full show.
How sweet the sound.
How sweet the sound. Amazing. Who saved a soul like me. What is it? To you though, I want to know what is amazing grace. Like, when do you personally feel amazing grace?
I think it's the moment when something unexpected happens, no matter what the label, good, bad, and there's a gift in it.
And what would that be? Give me an example of that.
Lizzie.
Lizzie, your girl.
Lizzie's I'm a lousy foster parent for dogs.
Oh, you are not.
Lizzie was supposed to go someplace else, and it didn't work out, and so she's now Mo's sister and my other dog.
I'd say you're a pushover is what you are.
But she was, I did everything I could to not fall in love with her.
Too bad.
And she's been such a gift because she's funny. She is the funniest dog I have ever seen in my life. She's hysterical. She's like Tinkerbell for the house. She kind of like twitters.
So that for you, it's amazing
And every
grace.
time I look at her, it's like, oh, it's just such grace. You're such a gift. Because she's my little love bug.
She's your love bug. Amazing grace.
Me?
No, to you, Linda.
It's my grandsons.
Your grandsons.
They taught me to play. Yes. So it brought grace into my life.
So when you play, what do you do?
It's just pure joy. I laugh. I just feel like that child within.
Uh-huh.
And that to me is great.
Yes. Very good.
It's also the celebration of someone's life.
The celebration of someone's life. You're so brilliant. The celebration of someone's life. Amazing grace. Specifically to you. Because you see, if we just like talk about, amazing grace, and we all go, oh yeah, that. And then we walk out the door. I don't think you got it. I want to talk about it specifically, Nina.
Amazing grace to me is when people I love come together in spirit and forgiveness and joy and laughter and makes me very happy.
Like being born again. Yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Adam.
Grace is
Amazing.
amazing. Well, it's when that last small rain cloud put out that huge forest fire. The ability to dance in the chaos gracefully.
Yes. Yes, beautifully.
And that ability to be graceful and go with trust.
Yes. Yeah, that's beautiful. Chia.
To me, amazing grace happens every day. It's that moment of just joy that goes through me when I see somebody smile. When I think of my daughter, and she turned 19 yesterday, and the gift. And whenever I think it's just that joy, that place that is like, wow, just washes over me, even if it is for an instant, is a moment of amazing grace.
Very good. Yes.
Amazing grace for me is salvation.
Be specific, would you?
It's an acceptance to be free from condemnation. All of us, like they say, we all sin and fall short of the glory of God. Like all of us have all these faults, and is a very human nature to judge, to condemn, to separate. And what's so amazing about grace, the amazing grace, is to be free from that condemnation for anything that you've done, any mistakes you have made and will make, to be free from judgment and just loved and accepted. It's just like a big warm hug from God.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that hug coming
That's
in
what it
there.
feels
That was
like.
beautiful. Last one here, Jen.
When I'm having a bad day and somebody will randomly call me and say, hey, or say, just random acts of kindness.
Random acts of kindness. I love that. Random acts of kindness. Random acts of kindness happen when we go someplace and we're in one of those moods. And we're just sort of, I don't want to talk to anybody, I don't want to see anybody. And we go out into our universes and we notice when somebody is hurting and we do something kind. It doesn't take a lot. We do something kind. The other day I was in the store, and I'm your human ladder, right? I mean, I can always help somebody because I'm a human ladder, thank you, God. And this lady, she was so cute. 2 things this week that just busted my heart wide open. This lady in the store, she had one of those, and I thought, well, how is she going to get those top levels? And I could tell right away that she was sitting there thinking, how am I going to get that can up there? And my sensory acuity was open, and I could feel her. And there were lots of people walking by. And I said to her, I'm a human ladder. And she looked at me and she said, well, yes, you are. And I said, so what can I get you? And she said, that can of beans right there. And I grabbed it and I put it in. I said, what else can I get you? And she said, well, you can walk along with me in a few aisles. And I did that. I walked along in a few aisles, tossing things in the thing, there she goes. And she goes, well, now what am I going to do without you? And I said, you're going to look for human ladders everywhere you go, and you're going to ask for help. And she said, well, I don't feel good about that, right? We know why. It's hard. It's hard when we can't sort of be in the norm of the world and be able to do something for ourselves. So I said, ask people. And she said, but that makes me feel bad. I don't like the way I feel. I said, if you don't ask somebody, you rob them of the gift that they can give you. Because when somebody, you tell me if this is true. When you help somebody, whose gift is it? Yeah, because what? It feels good. When we're all about ourselves, and it's about me, I don't like that feeling. That feeling to me is almost frightening because it's like, well, I've said this so many times. Do you remember that song that said, you and me against the world? Oh my God, it's you and me against the world. And I thought, that's a terrible song. It's a frightening song. But when we work together, that is amazing grace. Anybody you see when you are out there, they are not strangers. They are simply somebody you don't know the name. What's your name? Rick, you're my buddy now. See, it's just putting ourselves and doing something for someone else that lifts us, that puts us in a state of what?
Grace.
What is it?
Grace.
Amazing grace. And we now are alchemists, and we are taking that whatever is going on in our lives, and we are turning it into amazing grace. Let me read you something. This is so beautiful. You all know my teacher, Yogananda. Well, one of my teachers, if I can find my glasses. And, Yogananda, how many people here know who Paramahansa Yogananda Ji is? All right. Well, his teachings, and I said this to Dr. Angelo Pizzello, I was just stunned because there was so much love in this place. He said that. He said, Kim, there is so much love in this place. And after we did the ordination, he walked up to me and he said, can I have the script for the ordination? And I said, sure. And I pulled out the script and I gave him the ordination. He said, this was the most loving, most beautiful ordination I have ever been a part of. And you know what made it that? The love. He and his wife Stella, they're like, we can't wait to come back. And he was so cute. He said, I can't wait to tell everybody about this. And so he gave him the script and he walked out and he said, this moved me. This moved me. That's Amazing Grace. This is somebody that he's done 17 ordinations this year. He does between 15 and 25 ordinations a year. And he's saying that out of his entire life, 44 years, this was the most beautiful ordination he had ever attended. And he walked around and said it to person after person. And he loves her. He was like, you are so pure of heart. And it was true. That was Amazing Grace. All of you who came and who helped and were part of that was Amazing Grace. He was so blown away when we dedicated the Lindon and Koblenz family for the contributions they have given. He just couldn't even, he was crying. That's Amazing Grace. It's really beautiful. Dean, of course, he opens his mouth and he sings a song and everybody runs for the Kleenex.
Sorry.
It's heart-opening music. It was beautiful. Reverend Karen's theme song is Love, Love, Love. You know that song? Oh, it's just gorgeous. All right, let me read this to you. I'm trying to figure out if it's below or above. Yes. Yogananda says, doesn't the Lord, okay, science mind students, what does Lord mean? Law. Doesn't the Lord shower his grace more abundantly on certain men than others? Oh, come on, think about it. Think about it. If there are people around that are not going around loving other people, if there are people that are not changing other people's lives with a smile, with love, with I'll take care of that for you. Do you think there's people like that in the world? Oh my God, yes. Not everything you're going to like what I say. That's all right. It's just something that he believed was true. It may not be real right or true for you, but it is true for him. And he said, a student inquired, Paramahansaji answered, God chooses those who choose God. God chooses those who choose God. What is God? Good. So it's very simple. It's not a put down. It's just when we make good choices, what happens? Good things happen. That's all he's saying. When we make good choices, good things happen. Another wonderful thing that I wanted to share with you is he said, Don't mix too closely with, don't mix with others too closely, the Master said. Friendships do not satisfy us unless they are rooted in mutual love for God. Our human wish for loving understanding from others is in reality the soul's desire for unity, to be one with each other. That really there is no separation. So there's a total contradiction in one way. That he's saying, well, depends on which way you look at it. True or true? So now he's saying that when we remember that God is created in, through, and as each and every one of us, and we have free will to choose how to behave. Do we not? Is there anybody running around, with a little stick like the nuns would use, the rulers? Is there anybody running around saying, oh, don't act like that? I hope not. Because you see, when we behave and we choose the decisions that lift us and we choose to be more loving, that is amazing grace. When we choose to, when things are going really hard, anybody have anything going on? When we choose those things and we say, this is hard what I'm going through. What am I going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? How are you going to become the alchemist? How are you going to take something that has the appearance? Now, we teach not to look at appearances. We teach to look behind the appearance, because behind the appearance is something else. When somebody is upset and misbehaving, Course in Miracles says it is a cry for love. But if we get upset with them and we respond to them with upset, now what's happened? The two have become one. What's happened? Wherever two or more are gathered, there is an opportunity here. There is an opportunity for one of the two to go into grace and say, I'm sorry. I don't understand what's going on. But I will promise you that I will look at it, that I will learn from it, that I will do everything I can to be a better person. How does that feel?
Really good.
Hi. How does it feel to do it? Wonderful. How do you know?
Because I have,
Because you've done it.
yes, I've done it. Yes, I've done it.
Has everyone done it? If you've done it, how come we don't do it all the time? I forget! Slippage! Slippage, linkage, and suckage. I forget. The thing that's interesting is that the minute we go out into the collective consciousness, that's when Pema Chodron says we must step into our bodhisattva, our spiritual warrior that goes out into the world. And when others are not loving and they're not choosing higher thoughts, when others are trying to bring people down, when others are trying to share their misery, many of us, I used to think, tell me if this is true for you, I used to think, particularly as a kid, I used to think that if I sat with my friends and said, oh, I'll use Pat, ain't it awful? Ain't it awful? this happened to me. You guys know the story when I was like 13. Called my best friend Eileen. Hey man, God hates me. And Eileen said, God hates me more. Ain't it awful? So I used to think that if I joined people and agreed this is a terrible thing that's happening, I didn't realize that what I was doing was pulling them down. It's very much like this idea, this metaphor. We're walking along, we're talking about ain't it awful. And my partner who's talking about ain't it awful falls into a ditch. If I jump in and say, yes, ain't it awful, what's going to happen when we hit the ground? Splat. Because now we've both gone down, we've probably hurt ourselves. And guess what? Help! Trapped. So we can sit on the floor and say, now ain't it awful now? This is even worse. And there's no one to help. But you see, there is. It's amazing grace. It's when we sit down and we say, you know what? Let's pray together. Even if the other person says, you know, I'm not into that, then I could say, that's all right. You can just listen. And I say to them, close your eyes. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. If you close your eyes, you'll get something out of this. Close your eyes. God is everything. God has created itself, in itself, out of itself, of itself, as every single thing that exists in the universe. I am. Because God is, therefore I must be. And if I am, and God is everything, therefore I must be, then I know that somehow, some way, amazing grace will find me. And it will lift me up in consciousness, and it will lift me up in hope. And as I grow that hope into a field of beauty and possibility and the knowing that I am not alone, then I can be grateful that whatever pit I'm in it because I chose it. And since I chose it, I have the free will to choose again. And I can. And you can. Choose again. And therefore, since I can choose again, I am going to give thanks, deep thanks, that every single thing and every single pit that I have fallen into had to happen. It had to happen. Because by happening, it has raised me up. It has taught me that I am the master of my ship. And I can find a way to pull myself up and pull my friend up with me, and we shall walk in a field of flowers and talk about how beautiful life is. And then together, all together, as we release this into the field of flowers that are infinite in the world, we shall say, and so it is.